Hey, welcome back to YT Finance, and today we are going to be talking about Workhorse stock and how to hold Workhorse stock safely. Remember to hit that like button right now, subscribe if you are new. If you are already subscribed, thank you so much, and let's talk about these articles that will tell us why Workhorse stock is a speculative investment, how to hold Workhorse stock with little risk, and 3 levels that Workhorse needs to break through for a major rally to begin. All Workhorse stock articles that I reference in this video will be linked down below, and if you want more information regarding WKHS stock, feel free to read these articles, and with that being said, let's start the video. In the last month, Workhorse has had very little news coverage, considering that only 1 press release was published and 3 SEC filings. This lack of Workhorse Group information has made Workhorse stock seem eerie to some investors, which is one reason why this author says that Workhorse stock should only be held by aggressive investors. The electric vehicle market is booming right now, which has created a lot of excitement around Workhorse and other EV stock companies like Xpeng, NIO, Rivian, and even for a short time Nikola. Most of these electric vehicle companies like Workhorse, Hyliion, and Lordstown Motors are riding this hype, which is pumping up their stock prices. But how do we as investors, specifically investors in Workhorse, how do we avoid the risk of a sudden rapid sell-off from these stocks pumping up so quickly? And that's where ETFs come into play. I did a Workhorse video where I mentioned the top 5 ETFs that hold Workhorse stock, but this ETF has Workhorse stock weighted very highly, and it's called the Spider S&P Kensho Smart Mobility ETF, and the ticker symbol and the ticker name is HAIL, H-A-I-L. This ETF is a performance transportation index that consists of 57 companies that all focus on smart transportation and electric vehicles like Workhorse. Workhorse stock is their second largest holding, which makes up 5.33% of the ETF, which is only beat by NIO stock, which is the number 1 holding. The top 10 holdings make up the majority of this electric vehicle ETF, which includes the likes of Tesla stock, which dominates with a weight of 3.94%. The unique thing about Workhorse stock is that it does not directly compete with the other car manufacturers because Workhorse focuses on the last mile delivery sector, not people like you and I. The author says that Workhorse stock is a long-term investment meant for aggressive, patient investors. Workhorse also has done business with the likes of Ryder and e-trucks, which sets a bright future for a business relationship for them in the coming years. Workhorse stock right now is overpriced, says the author, and it would be nothing short of crazy if someone thinks Workhorse is not a speculative investment. But remember, in this case, there is high risk but also high reward, especially if they get the United States Postal Service contract, which we are all so eager to find out the results and the winners of. Workhorse stock gives us the usual 3 options, and that is to sell, to hold, or to buy this dip, because Workhorse is slowly becoming more and more relevant on Wall Street. Workhorse stock has been pretty volatile lately, so I am currently just holding a small portion of Workhorse stock until the United States Postal Service contract winners are announced. If Workhorse does not win the US Postal Service contract, then 3 things need to happen after the USPS contract winners are known. The first thing is that we have to remember that Workhorse stock and the S&P 500 are moving in tandem, so Workhorse is not failing right now, it's just that the market is swinging up and down. Secondly, we need to pass the psychological barrier of the $25 mark again, because many people, buyers and sellers alike, use numbers like 25, 50, and 100 to decide to buy or sell. Realistically, Workhorse stock needs to re-enter the $28 territory, which happened after Vice President Mike Pence reviewed a Lordstown Motors vehicle named the Endurance Truck, which President Trump also viewed, but at a much later date at the White House. This viewing by Mike Pence and Donald Trump spiked Workhorse stock prices because Workhorse has a 10% equity stake in Lordstown Motors. Thirdly and lastly, Workhorse stock has a $30.60 upside target, which is great news for Workhorse stock investors. But will WKHS stock ever get to that price point again? Leave your comments down below about Workhorse stock. Thank you for watching the whole video. Like this video if you haven't already, subscribe, and I will see all of you in the next YT video.